They're classy too, man. I can wear this on a date.
People who are most successful are the ones who don't just give up.
We have officially partnered up with Albemarle Paper Supply. Albemarle Paper Supply services paper products within the cities of Charlotte, Concord, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Salisbury, Morrisville, and smaller cities in between. From fiber, plastic, and foam bowls, paper towels, tissues, napkins, takeout containers, gloves, to janitorial supplies, and much, much more, Albemarle Paper is dedicated to bring you the paper goods you need. Customers can pick up products directly at Albemarle Paper's warehouse located at 735 Henson Street in Albemarle, North Carolina, or products can be delivered to you at your business doorstep. Today's live is also brought to you by CL Driving School. CL Driving School is a truck driving school located in Indian Trail, offering programs for both commercial Class A and Class B licenses. With your choice between automatic and manual transmission, their classes consist of small group trainings with one instructor per truck. Training is available on weekdays, weekends, and evenings. Not only do you receive classes, but opportunities for sponsorship programs, recruiter visits, and job placement assistance also occurs. CL Driving School is also trilingual with classes offered in English, Spanish, and Arabic. Register for classes today by calling 704-821-1111. Again, that number is 704-821-1111. Don't miss out. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the MLS Corner. We just came out of a historic weekend in Charlotte, North Carolina, breaking an MLS attendance record. So for a historic weekend, I had to make sure I had some historic people here. Today, I got my friend Lee from CLTFC Fan TV. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I was trying to get my voice back. Hopefully it's here by Sunday.
Nice. And then we also have an OG, Caleb Adams. Some of y'all may know him as Regal Soccer way back in the day. And he is with us tonight. He's gracing us with his presence.
Caleb, oh my gosh.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing really, really great. Thanks for having me. It's good to be back on here, making some public appearances.
Nice. And we also have our special guest today, all the way from Atlanta, from enemy territory. We have Ron Peña. Ron, my man, how are you today?
Parceros, what's going on? El Parcero Ron here. Jorge, Lee, and Caleb, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to talk to you all, talk about MLS, Charlotte, Atlanta, this rivalry, perhaps you can call it.
Yeah, man. I really like that I really like that we're putting up numbers from the get-go too, like y'all, in terms of like attendance, because that kind of gives us a little bit of muscle to say, okay, like, yeah, well, I don't think our team is there yet, but in terms of like the fan base, we're definitely here.
Yeah, no one can take away that number one spot in attendance from y'all anytime soon. So
for sure. Well, awesome, man. First, I want people to kind of know who you are. Tell us a little bit about you, bro.
Yeah, man. So I'm the co-founder of Parceros United, lifestyle brand promoting diversity and unity through Latin culture and beautiful game. Basically, we started out as a Latin supporters branch of the supporters culture here in Atlanta. And we bring a little bit of our Latin flavor to tailgates. We bring, our aguardiente, which is our typical drink in Colombia. Our typical liquor made from sugarcane. We bring it to tailgates, bring empanadas, have our own crew. Everyone was welcome to enjoy the vibes, join the music. Our movement grew from there, started growing in places like New York, Orlando, Miami, and Philadelphia, Toronto as well. So we kind of grew past Atlanta United, and now we're kind of more focusing on the experience of the Colombian abroad, Colombian living in the U.S. and the U.K. and Canada. So that's a little bit who I am. I also obviously am from Atlanta, so I cover the Atlanta United with Siempre United, which is the only Spanish-speaking podcast in Atlanta United community, and also a collaborator for Pulso Sports. So shout out to Nico Moreno and everyone from Pulso Sports.
Okay, nice.
You can follow me right here.
Nice.
Man, stays busy.
The
Yeah,
man has no free time. No free time.
On
I
that
wear
grind.
I wear a lot of caps, so yeah.
Yeah,
I love MLS. I love soccer, so I can talk about it all day, man.
that's amazing. I mean, that's why he's on today, man. Like, special episode requires special people. Not just anybody can be on here tonight.
Yeah, Morgan said the
Jorge,
battle
man, you
for
gonna make me
pancake
cry,
poppy.
man.
This
Yeah,
is my favorite comment so far. The battle for pancake poppy.
Yo, Pancake's my boy. Pancake, man, we've experienced a lot together. You know, Atlanta United and personally, man. Like he went to Columbia with me 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago. He's a great friend. So
He's
we've
a good guy
experienced a
for
lot.
sure.
Hey, Justin Lee, he's in the chat. There he
There
is.
you go.
What's
He's
up?
very missed over there. I mean, y'all are making movie promos about him. I'm like, okay.
Bro, that was hilarious. I love it, man. I love it. He is missed. He will be missed. He was such a character here in Atlanta. Yeah, so he'll be missed. Charlotte's got a good one for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. I want to touch a little bit about our game here in Charlotte. I mean, outside of the result, I feel like everything else was spectacular. From the fans, the emotions that we felt, everything that went on this weekend was so surreal for us. I mean, first of all, we had a jam-packed stadium. You know, we broke a MLS record. 74,479 people were present, and you could just feel it. I mean, this is me and a couple.
Pancake.
There's your boy Pancake. Some of the guys from South by.
Gilmore. Yeah.
What a great picture.
We got a Chicharito in the house as well, who I think had a good game as well. And we crowned Steve Smith as the first. What is it called again, Lee? Do you know? Like, what's the official
Ambassador
name?
or something. I don't know what the official name is. I know that the crown kept falling off his head.
It did. And
So is that a pregame ritual that you guys are doing?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll be crowning one person every week, and so or every home game that we have, and so don't be surprised if the next one's Caleb.
I might get like a midweek game against like FC Cincinnati or something at best
Hey, man, that's
on a
something.
Wednesday. Nobody's there.
Nice.
You ain't no ways there. We'll be there.
Nice. So tell us your experience a little bit, Caleb. I mean, you grew up in Raleigh. You followed the Carolina Railhawks. How surreal was this moment for you? Because, man, you've been an MLS nut since I've known you. Like, very few people know the league the way you do. And we didn't even have a home team for you to, like, have this kind of support and fandom. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was extremely special, and like you said, it was very surreal. I guess I kind of had an unusual path to following soccer. I started following MLS first, and then I got into European through that. So it was kind of my gateway into the sport, and it's largely because the U.S. national team. Dempsey is the one who really got me into the game. The U.S. national team is where I really started, and a lot of those guys happen to be in MLS. So I was going to watch my favorite, national team players. We're going to watch it in the domestic league. So that's how I got into MLS to begin with. And then it's just entertaining. It was just a really entertaining league. Even at the time, even the level isn't probably nearly as good as it is now. But even then, it was always very entertaining. That's one thing that you can never say about MLS, that it was never entertaining. Even though the quality may have not been the best, it was always a show. It was always something crazy happening. It was always unpredictable. And so it was really, really surreal. And even more so, I could have never imagined that I would be working for the club in MLS of my home state. That's something that I never even thought was a possibility in my life. Never growing up, I thought about it. Not even like 2 years ago, I thought about it, and so it's a dream come true. And to be able to be a part of it, not only as a fan, because first and foremost, I'm a fan. I mean, this is my club. This is what I went for a large portion of my life. But to be a part of it as to contribute to it in a way that I have and do things that will live on for forever is I'm extremely privileged and honored and proud to be able to do that, and extremely, ecstatic.
That's
It was amazing.
What's going to be that moment that when you're 65 and your grandkids come up to you and say, Papa Adams, what's the moment that you remember most from that very first official game?
I gotta go with the anthem, and it might be the answer everyone goes with, But there was something really powerful about that because it was the first time I've seen. I've been to going to Bank of America Stadium since I was 11. My dad took me to watch the Panthers for the first ever time when I turned 11 years old, and so I've been to Bank of America for football games, and it's never been a full group and fans of one team. Like it's never been that way ever. I've never seen it so packed with people, locals,
Great point.
who are all supporting one team. Like when LA scored the goal, it was dead silent. You maybe heard like a boo here and there, but it was silent. Like I'm not used to that at Panthers games. You know, if the Patriots play the Panthers and the Patriots score, just loud. It's like just as loud as the home crowd when they score. So it was incredible to see so many people supporting one team, singing together the national anthem. It was just really really special. It gave me goosebumps, and I've never experienced anything like that in my life. Never ever in my life.
Love that, love that. And it was captured from a couple of different angles as well, which is really cool. We'll always be able to go back and look at it.
That's like the cool. That's like the cool thing too. Is like we have the technology now to actually capture these moments. Like the first moments of Manchester United, who knows how they were? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Shite.
But yeah, but like we have the technology now to be able to capture all these forever, and it's not the same thing as being there. But you at least got something for your kids, for your great grandkids. Even though, like even our grandparents, there's so much limited stuff that we can see about them, but it's something that we can have forever.
Nice, awesome. Lee, how about you, man? I mean, you and I have been in like I feel like at the very beginnings of the club, like back when like they didn't have all this staff that they have now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we were there before some of the key staff were there, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, we were getting messages from people that worked at the Panthers, you know what I'm saying? Like for the
Yep.
Panthers side of things. And just to go from there to what we've built, even though it's a small community, it's still there. What was this experience like for you, man? Because I remember, like, as the game's about to start, I look over at you and I say, Lee, man, we're finally here. Finally, after what felt like years of us, like, just doing stuff, like, the moment has come where we get to see our team play in front of our home crowd.
Sure. I mean, it was just awesome, right? I mean, I probably teared up a little bit. I'm not sure if that's because my contact was drying up or not, but definitely there was a tear in the eye, And then, like you said, right, being surrounded by people that we've met through the club, right? Meaning the fans, we got Heidi, you got the shipping department, we got all those people, Matt, Churchy, you know, people over on the other side, right? That we just met all through the club, and it was just special, right? And that's why when I know you were trying to ABC this damn thing, and I had to look over at you and just say, "Man, give me 60 seconds, put the camera down, and just take it in,"
Yeah, I
And then
appreciate you doing that because, like, like I'm trying to bring content to the people, and Lee was like, "Yo, put these stupid cameras down and observe the
Good.
moment for a
yeah,
minute."
just enjoy the kickoff,
Yeah,
man.
and then I did that for 60 seconds, and I looked at the crowd, and I got goosebumps too. So I'm glad you made me do that.
Yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
I had my boy there with me, right? Liam, he's all about being in the soccer thing now, and so he's excited to see himself on like your blog and whatever the crap we do. So I mean, overall, man, it was I had what I thought it was gonna be, and the club just took it there, man. And it was just such a great night. And everybody we talked to when we did the fan interviews and that kind of stuff just would there was no bad comments, right? It was just great.
100%. Yeah, even
Mhm.
like I think Caleb, you put it in one of your articles where DJ Fannie Mae said that like like soccer here is giving a community to people to some people that never had a community here. Like I feel such
Mhm.
a strong like I have more love for the Carolinas now that we have a soccer team than I did before. As crazy as that sound, I identify more with this city now that we have a soccer team
Mm.
because I feel like it's
100%.
something that represents me from a very young age, from when I was watching Barcelona and Liverpool and Honduras, and I would follow these teams. And now I have a team in my backyard that I can pull for that, that we're going to be there through thick and thin, which is something that I find amazing.
100%. And like, I mean, she DJ Fannie Mae really put it not like she got it like right on the nail. She hit it right on the nail. She said that's completely a pun for Atlanta United, by the way. Hit it right on the nail. Um, but she said it brought the last little corner of Charlotte into the community. And I felt even before we played the game, there was a different energy around the city in the week building up. You know, there were people repping the club. There were people just from all over that. I mean, I think you guys can also attest to it. It was like a new energy around the city leading up to this home game, and even afterwards. And DJ Fannie Mae put it perfectly. It brought in that last corner of Charlotte into the community, and so we're complete now.
You complete me. This is great.
Charlotte completed us.
It did.
Completed us.
Ron, kind of give us your perspective, man, from an outsider looking in. Because honestly, Atlanta fans were giving us a lot of stick last week. I saw like even more stick than like I'm like I haven't seen much this week, but last week we were getting hammered.
It was toxic, man. It was toxic. I try to stay away from that side of Twitter because man, it got toxic at times. But no, man, it was awesome. 74,000 people. I mean, in one game, one place, it speaks for itself, and it's amazing to see how Southeast has become this hotbed for soccer in the U.S. and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, the Atlanta United went through something similar with the anthem. There was a game also in our inaugural season where the microphone didn't work, and I was there at the match, and everyone's singing the anthem, and it's goosebumps. It's amazing what we saw in Charlotte, man. Like, I just hope you guys can keep it up because everything's shiny and new right now, but for Atlanta's been able to keep their attendance because of the success of the team. So if Charlotte, hopefully if Charlotte, they can replicate that success, but if they can't, I hope they can keep up the attendance numbers because it's really impressive, honestly.
Was that a low-key dig at us, though? I felt that might have been a low-key dig. Because of the success they had and everything. Yeah, I heard it. I heard it.
He's right, though. I mean, like, what is this the fourth season Atlanta's in the league now? Fifth season, right? Yeah. And to have 67,000 people in their fifth season, like that lets you know, like that's a strong soccer community that you have there.
And that's off like a pretty low run for Atlanta too. Like the past year and a half they're not the same like as the first 2 years, for example. You guys certainly struggled a little bit the past year and a half. Had some momentum at the end, but that's even more impressive, in that context of like this Atlanta crowd came to a team that that got out of the first, was really struggling, but you still got all that people, so that's how you got a proper community.
And if Charlotte struggles as well, I mean, I hope they can support each other in the supporters culture, pardon the redundancy, but like I just hope they can keep it up because the world is on notice. The world takes notice of these things, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Players want to play in these environments. Brings in a lot of talent, coaches, a lot of attention. It's great for the league in general.
100%.
And speaking of the world, one thing too that I don't know if you guys have thought about really, but it kind of hit me recently is like now that Charlotte FC is playing in MLS, and MLS is now a player on the world market. Right, we see exports all the time in MLS. We see guys coming in their prime to MLS. Now, hey, that's facts.
It is. I can't deny that.
The eyebrows on fleek.
Hey man, Barber does a good job. Barber deserves a VP contract.
But now that Charlotte sees in MLS, and MLS is on the global market, we're a player on the global market. Maybe not to the extent of a Portugal or a Netherlands.
Hey, we had Griezmann commenting on our record, so you know what I'm saying. Like, hey, that's pulling players to like, yo, like that's pretty cool for the MLS,
100%. And like the thing is, like now we're a part of that world market. Like we're there, we're relevant on the world market. Like Charlotte, this little, relatively small city compared to most cities around the world. This little city is now on the world stage because they have a soccer team. That wasn't the case before with the Panthers. It wasn't the case with the Hornets. Yeah, you got their fans everywhere, but now we're a player on the global market in the best sport in the world, the biggest sport in the world, and that's right here in Charlotte. right in our backyard. It's crazy
Yeah, Charlotte's become more of an international city with this
with this
new
team.
franchise. Yeah, for sure.
100% exactly.
Nice. Lee,
But I was just going to mention, the success that Atlanta had, right? I mean, the MLS, this is my excuse anyways, was a little different back when you guys joined compared to what it is now, right? So for an expansion team to come out and, basically you guys just ruined it for everybody else that comes in after you, I think. It's
Well,
going to be hard to replicate that for sure.
Atlanta had 2 years to prepare, as did Charlotte, and I think Atlanta really did their homework, bringing in DPs, bringing in TAM depth, bringing in a lot of great players, and kind of changing the identity of MLS, kind of turning into this what people call MLS 3.0, which is bringing this young talent from South America and developing them here, like was Almiron. So Atlanta definitely changed a lot of MLS. Like I said, they did their homework. They're not like a Miami, who also had time to prepare and came in with an absolute disaster of a team. I guess Cincinnati.
Still, right? Yeah.
What I see in Charlotte is kind of what I saw in Cincinnati. Is kind of like the slow start into MLS. Obviously, you guys have a good manager, and I think maybe with the right signings, maybe quality in the attack, 1 or 2 DPs in that areas, I think Charlotte can be a great playoff contender, especially with their Miguel Angel Ramirez as coach.
Yeah, I think just even if I was a neutral, I think it's good for the league what Charlotte is doing, and it's going to be even better if they're competitive. Like if we could be competitive within the league, because we have such a strong fan base. Because look at New England; they had such a bad attendance record for their first home game. They just won the Supporters Shield, and I'm like that's not a good look for us.
It's also looks way worse because it was around 15,000 people, which is like mid tier in MLS attendance. Like it really wasn't. It just looked terrible, in that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I mean, you would think the MLS champs would have at least 20K out there, right? I mean, this
Supporters Shield winners, yeah.
Supporters Shield winner. But as well, like also one thing I wanted to say too is with us, beating the record for attendance, and now it pushes everyone else to do better, and that's the ultimate goal, because if records keep getting broken, it only pushes the league more and more and more. It only gets people to think, okay, how can we best that? And that includes DPs, that includes signings, that includes facilities, that includes attendance, that includes supporters groups, that includes tifos. The better we get at those, the more records are broken, it drives the whole league forward, because you have a new bar. The bar is getting raised with every single year, it seems like. As you see, like it's just exponentially growing every year, the league.
Good point. It's
And
a great
Shout out to the TIFO committee, though.
Yeah, I wanted to say that as well. Like, I wanted to take a second to just there's a lot of people that did a lot of work to make this look as great as it was. Even like Churchy, like he went before the game and went into the stadium with other people to set up some of the stuff for the supporters. Like people like Blue Furia doing their thing and bringing the energy. And even some people, like everybody at the club, man, like I know a lot of them, whether they like me or not now, but like they put in I just see the effort that it takes to do something like this, especially us that create content. And I'm like, good for them and good for everybody that put all that effort, because look at what we were able to accomplish.
And I think that's something that also shouldn't be taken lightly. It's just the amount of coverage and fan based stuff and that was created even 2 years ago when the team was announced was a lot. I mean, we had, and now we see YouTube channels popping up everywhere. We see new sort of influencers for the club, and but we've had that from the very beginning. We've had like an uncharacteristically a large amount of like these third party fan media, more than I've seen anywhere else. Period. I haven't seen any other sort of MLS team come out and have well over 8 sources of fan media. It's just crazy. But it's great.
Atlanta started off like that, but
it matters. Yeah.
And they used to call them the podcast wars because there's so many podcasts, and they all sounded the same. And slowly it started dying off. But what I do see in Charlotte that I didn't see in Atlanta back then was like how united you guys are. In Atlanta, there's so much drama between supporters groups. So much drama, and maybe I'm not that deep into Charlotte supporters culture, but what I see is like a very united group.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
will say that the supporters groups that are involved, right? They have their council. They go, from what we hear. I mean, they have some hard discussions and talks, but it seems everybody keeps it. It doesn't get personal, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah. It seems like even though people have their differences, they all understand the common goal.
100%. That's exactly right. And I also think that um, I do think that the chief fan officer that we do have is also something to kind of keep people in check in terms of not like in check as in um, like, hey, what are you
Managing.
doing? It's more of like, hey guys,
Good
we
mediator.
have a common goal. Like it's just, in a way, it's just a person that helps everyone, helps people stay kind of aligned on the same goal and organized. Because if you have, it's very different trying to have five different, five, six, seven different groups all working together for the same goal. But if you have somebody who's kind of monitoring that, like the supporters council, you have people that have, how can I describe it?
I
Just
think
keep
Jorge
everyone
said the correct
aligned.
word. It's just like a mediator, right? He kind of
Exact.
keeps.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I didn't even hear you. That's the perfect word. A mediator. And I, at least from what I see online and from what I hear from supporters groups, everyone loves Sean. Sean's our chief fan officer, and I think Sean was an incredible hiring for us because he's a guy. He's a soccer guy. One of the biggest complaints in MLS is you have people who are not soccer people running soccer things. But that's something that this club has made sure to not make a mistake of, and that's something that I'm very proud of as a fan, as somebody who works there, and that you saw the effects of it with the opening match. You saw like it was Sean being a perfect effect of that, and yeah, I think Sean has been like instrumental in helping kind of organize everything, be a mediator between the groups. But in the end, it is the groups, it is the supporters groups leading the charge. It's the supporters
Yeah.
group who come up with the ideas. The supporter groups who put in just so many hours. I mean, it's incredible the hours that the supporters put in. Um, and
Yeah, I
it's
have a hard time when you see people bitching about stuff online, and it's like, they don't have time to join these committees or get in with these groups to offer their time up, but they're quick to
Yeah,
complain about stuff that's not happening, right? And it's like, come
that's
on.
that's the one thing that I usually try not to get involved with the Twitter drama just because I like it never leads anywhere good. But I always bite my tongue when I see people that do zero or put zero effort and sit there and just complain about the things that they see that are being done wrong. I'm like, bro, if you don't like it, get in there and change it, man. You put in some work. Don't just complain, you know?
That's just the way of the
100%.
club's life. I mean, because I was like on the club side, you have a little insight like behind the scenes, but like I don't think people realize just how much work and the process to make all this stuff happen. Like everything involving players, involving events, involving partnerships, and just ticketing. And just so many different things, and the amount of work that gets put in is like, I mean, these people put tired like so many hours. Like, people at the club don't work 40 hours a week. Just way more, double for most of them. And it's like a nonstop thing, you never sleep. And so it's easy, of course. I mean, that's the easy thing is to nitpick, and the easy thing is to complain about stuff. But there's just so many variables involved behind the scenes that your fans just have no idea. But what I can guarantee you is everyone at the club works their butt off. Everyone at the club, like the supporters groups, has the one common goal of like, hey, we're in different departments. Hey, we're different people, but we all have the same goal, and it creates a great working environment, a really positive working environment where other sports environments can be toxic. The one that Charlotte have seen working there is incredible to be part of because it's like a group of friends all working on the same thing. Um, yeah,
Love it. Awesome.
I love you, Caleb.
I love y'all.
Awesome. Well, Caleb, man, I know you have to bounce, but man, thank you so much for dropping by and gracing us with your presence, bro.
It's always a pleasure. Send me the $10,000 check later tonight. All right.
I
For the
will. I'm
appearance.
sending you in Honduran money, so it'll be like all right. Take it
Thanks
easy.
for having me. You guys, it's a pleasure too, Ronald.
Yeah, man, Caleb, nice connecting with you. Nice meeting you, man.
We'll stay in touch.
For
Take
sure.
care. All right. See y'all.
Hey,
Thank you,
Caleb.
everybody coming
Bye,
out.
bro.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Cool. Now let's get to know a little bit about your perspective Ron, tell us. Technically, this would be year 2 under Gonzalo Pineda, right? I mean, he kind of came in.
He had like half a year last year,
So we'll say
but
year 1.5, right?
yeah, I feel like this is really his first year that he can implement his tactical philosophy. Last year he came in, Atlanta United was a mess under this comment, quality manager under Boca Negra. I think I was giving Boca Negra a little bit too much credit. But nonetheless, I'm not gonna get into it because it's a long rant. I have a lot to say. But Gonzalo Pineda, I think this is his first year he can implement his tactical philosophy. Last year he came in, Atlanta United was a mess. He kind of gave like this anemic push for Atlanta United to get to the playoffs, but he didn't really have a chance to implement his style. He came in and immediately he said, I think in the first interview, he said that I don't want to change much of what the Valentino, who was the interim manager at the time, what he was doing. So he didn't change much. He was still playing 3 in the back, whatever. Got to the playoffs, got eliminated immediately by the eventual champions. So now we're here in 2022. He has all the tools he needs to implement his tactical philosophy, to give instructions on positional play, what he wants to do. So I'm excited.
What do you see Atlanta doing this year?
It's a long season, man. It's a long season, and how we're starting is tough because our depth is really being tested. We don't have a lot of key players, and we don't know if Thiago Almada will be the replacement for Ezequiel Barco. Ezequiel Barco last year was our best attacking player. So I don't know if Thiago, coming from Argentina, will come in and immediately click with everyone else. But there are a lot of bright spots in the attack. There's a healthy Jose Martinez, which is good, coming off of his ACL injury. Thiago Almada, once he gets incorporated, the return of Santiago Sosa, who's injured right now. Like Ibarra as well, he's good depth. So there are a lot of pieces. Gonzalo Pineda brought in Ozzy Alonso from Seattle, who's a guy who he played with, and also was his coach as an assistant coach in Seattle. So he has, like I said, he has a lot of tools to carry out his philosophy.
And I think one thing that's really unique about the MLS as well is that, like, if you get a proper run of form at the right time, that can win you a championship. That can get you into a playoff,
Yeah, NYCFC got hot last year. I mean, usually how it is. I mean, the hottest team coming into the playoffs is usually the one who's a contender. Yeah, so like, I don't know. It's a really long season, and things change a lot after the summer. After the summer, there are a lot of teams that drop off because of injuries, form, whatever. A lot of teams that come up and make a surprise run in the playoffs. So it's a long season.
Columbus is the perfect example, man. They won the MLS Cup and then they didn't even make the playoffs the next year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what that's why you love this league. It's so competitive, and anything can happen at any time. So it's awesome.
And Lee, I want to ask you a little bit your expectations of Charlotte going into Atlanta. I know this game against LA, I think defensively we were well for most part of the game. I mean, obviously having a guy up top like Chicharito that Galaxy has, the guy's going to find an opportunity. He found a couple, and he almost scored on us. And, I mean, eventually we lost by just an amazing goal,
Yeah, I mean, there was some amazing saves, right? I mean, Galena was on point, man, and it could have been a lot worse for sure. Obviously, like we do, right? We go to the games and then we come home, we watch the games again. And for whatever reason, I just couldn't get to see the Atlanta game. So I couldn't really tell how well they were playing. From what I heard last week, it wasn't that great, right?
Well, they lost 3-0. But
what was the score again?
3-0.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. So,
but they are missing a lot of players,
which is going to carry over for us next week, right?
And we're also playing Colorado, and Colorado last season lost one match at home, so we weren't going in there as favorites, especially having so many players missing. Nice. And typically, how a team plays at home isn't usually how they play away. And Gonzalo Pineda wanted to play away in a very tough place in the Mile High City, the same way he wants to play at home. So it was a recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
Nice.
I guess we can use some of that terminology next week if we lose too, right? Which we won't, by the way. We know Charlotte. We're going to get our first win and our first goal in Atlanta. Heard it
How
here first.
crazy would that be?
Oh man, you guys will never live it down
Listen,
in the
Ron,
history
I'm
books.
sorry, but if we do that, I'm gonna be talking crap all next week.
Look,
Dude,
man,
all season.
I don't care if you guys get the first goal, second goal, as long as Atlanta gets the 3 points, it's cool. You know, looking at Charlotte, I think they're very defensively composed. Miguel Angel Ramirez knows the tools he has and knows how to be pragmatic at the time of looking of how to, put a team on the field, how to give his team the proper tools to compete against a rival. I think LA Galaxy did, obviously they outshot Charlotte by like 4 times. I think LA had like 20 or 21 shots. Charlotte had like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But if you really look at like the XG, the expected goals for LA Galaxy per shot, it's lower than what it was for Charlotte in that same match. So Charlotte was limiting LA Galaxy to very low percentage XG goals or chances.
I mean, it took him 78 minutes to score on us, right? And
And the goal was a wonder goal.
that
It
was goal of the
crazy.
week, right? Was that voted goal of the week yet? Do we know? That had to be a contender.
It
Nobody
does-
was stopping that, man.
And it had an expected goal value of 0.03, which means 3% chance that it goes in the goal.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, like I calculated it, and Charlotte's expected goal per shot was 0.1, so it was 10%, and then LA Galaxy's was something like 0.8. So Charlotte had better chances, but they had far less than them. So
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I don't know if it would have mattered, right, if Carroll had played the first week or not, but the service to him was not really there, right? I mean, Reyna, I think he seemed to
It was
be.
poor.
He was thinking elsewhere, right? You know, I don't know. I don't know what his deal was. I was disappointed in his play, but right? We can see what Mars is trying to put together, and I think just as they play more and more games. I mean, this is like our 5th game together, right? And 3 of them were preseason.
Which
So-
my only concern is so far, like you said, like I mean, like we're not creating enough chances, and 2, like we haven't even finished we had 1 that was called offsides, but out of the 5, I've been to 5 Charlotte FC games, 3 preseason and 2 in the MLS now, and we've only scored 1 goal, and that wasn't even an open play. That was off a penalty. So I feel like that's something that we need to continue to like. I feel like defensively we're getting there. I mean, Lee can attest to this too. I'm pretty surprised how good Fuchs has been for us for the last 2 games.
Well, we were, but I think a lot of us were worried, right? I mean, Fuchs, I think, has been our best player so far this season, right? For sure. We were worried about his age and being a little slow. But obviously he's a professional, knows how to read the game, right? And he's just really done really well. I mean, another shout out would be for Lindsay. I think he's been doing pretty well. And then even Bronico, he's been playing a tidy game too. And then TT. I mean, we could call them all out, right? But the one person I was disappointed, or the one player I was disappointed in this weekend was Reyna for sure.
100%.
I think I could say the same. Looking from the outside, I thought Reyna was very wasteful in his chances. I think he got in good positions to make good plays, to make 1-2s, act as a wall, as a pivot, maybe make runs in. But it was that missing quality in the final third of the field.
It's like there was one play I saw him where if he had actually ran after the ball, he could have probably kept it in bounds, and he just kind of let it go. And then I think it went to a goal kick or something. I was like,
But he's getting in good positions, and I think that's credit to what do you guys call him? Mars? Is Mars Miguel Angel Ramirez?
Yeah.
yeah, that's what the non-Hispanics call him because it's easier for us.
Yeah, I think Reyna can be that decisive guy for Charlotte for now, since they're lacking quality in the attack. I think he can be decisive, but he has to be decisive in the final third. I think he has to, show his quality.
Yeah. Well, we'll be adding more to that attack pretty soon. So
That's what the rumors are.
yeah, it's gonna happen, bro. He was at the stadium this weekend. A player that we've been linked with. I know for a fact that he was at the stadium. But anyway,
Hey, man, Jorge's got the sources, man. I believe him.
In terms of, I know you guys are missing a lot of players. You guys are missing guys like Araujo. I mean, Thiago's still not even here yet. Who's going to be your difference maker this weekend in Atlanta?
Man, it is and it always will be Joseph Martinez as long as he's on the field, man. His presence is huge. Is huge. Obviously, former MLS MVP coming off an ACL injury, which is nothing small, but he's healthy now. He's healthy now. He can go a full 90 minutes, and he's always dangerous. I mean, 2 games ago against SKC at home, he had 2 assists. He had various opportunities that he couldn't put away himself. But he's always going to be the go-to guy for the team as long as Araujo Araujo can be that guy, but he hasn't shown it yet to be the guy everyone focuses on. But he's gone, so he's gone with a hamstring injury for I think 3 or 4 more weeks. So Joseph Martinez is definitely the danger guy. Also look out for Gutman. Gutman I thought has been solid the past 2 games. He's the left back for Atlanta United. So I think he's going to be paired up against Reina.
Yeah.
In this upcoming match. I think Gutman, he's a Bella replacement. I think he brings a lot more maturity to the position. He's 25. Bella was 20. Gonzalo can do a lot through that wing, and he wasn't able to last year. So yeah, Gutman's a bulldog, as everyone's describing on Twitter. Everyone calls him bulldog. So expect him to dominate that left side.
Nice. And I know I hope from our end we finally get to see Anton Walks, former Atlanta player too. He's been injured for us.
Dude, I could not believe you guys took him away from us. Like, he was on a cheap contract. He knows the club because he was here in 2017. He was here on loan
from Spurs. Yep.
Mm-hmm, on loan, and I thought he was solid. Tata, I'm sorry, you're a Spurs fan, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But maybe he was crying at the game Saturday. Maybe he just saw like something Spurs did and had tears in his eyes because of that, not because of the stadium.
Man, how does it feel to support losing teams, man? Come on.
See, we're not going there. We're not going there.
You can pull a pancake and we'll accept you on this side. But Walks, man. He brings a lot of leadership. He's a great professional. I think for Atlanta, he was a very solid depth piece. And at time when he started, there were no complaints, man. He was great. He was great in 2017. He was great last 2 seasons. And he's a very quality MLS starting quality center back for you guys. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I think he's going to be. Yeah, and Pancake, by the way, Spurs now too. We converted him. We converted him to Charlotte, Panthers, Hornets. Everybody, everything to do with North Carolina.
Talking facts, man. Facts only. You already know.
I do want to take a couple of questions if anybody has them. I mean, obviously you're super knowledgeable in Atlanta as well. I saw one here earlier that I wanted you to answer, but we didn't get to. I think it was about like having Atlanta bringing a title. Here it is. Is known nationwide as terrible sports town. I don't know if that's true or not, so don't come at me for that.
You posted it, you own it.
Honestly, Jonathan, like I don't really watch the other sports here, but I mean, Braves have won the World Series, right? And then UGA, I went to UGA. They won the Natty National Championship in football. So, I think that we're turning that trend. Atlanta United started turning that trend around. So.
But do you notice that too, though, in Atlanta, right? Because here in Charlotte, right, at least for the people I run with, right, we're not really too worried about the Hornets or the Panthers, even, right? But when it comes to Charlotte, like we're all in, right? But you see, like the other people that support the basketball and the NFL kind of bleeding over to the soccer side.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the rise. It's on the rise. I think it's mostly because of the experience and the price per experience. I mean, comparatively, I think MLS is cheaper than NFL. And then if you compare the experiences in NFL to MLS or MLB to MLS, I mean, 74,000 people in a stadium. You don't see that in football or in baseball, it's amazing. People are buying into the experience. I think.
Yeah, it's kind of a touchy subject though about price here in Charlotte, right? Because we were the first team to have to pay PSLs for
that's right.
For the MLS, right? So, and then you see people bitching about the beer prices and that kind of stuff, which I think is only Atlanta. I think Atlanta's got some really cheap prices, so we can get drunk on $20 at your spot. In Charlotte, we can only get 2 beers and some free popcorn.
Shout out to the hooligans. They're saying, are they gonna let them sneak tequila in the Benz? Ron, do you have any connections where we can get some of that in there?
It's easier ask for It's easier ask for forgiveness than for permission.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't really. They're not gonna let you, but I mean, I've seen people do it, so I'm not gonna say how because I don't know. I shouldn't be saying that publicly.
We'll cut that out. Don't worry.
This is life's just between you and I.
Right. Pity Martinez. This is my boy Urch. Yeah, Pity Martinez was a great winger. I think we found the replacement in Araujo. Pity, I thought he was going to be MVP Carlo Vela type of player for Atlanta. Unfortunately, he had to play under Frank de Boer, so it didn't work out. But yeah.
Cool. This is a good question. Is there any Charlotte FC player you're worried about in this game? Has anyone impressed you enough to say, you know what, this is a good player?
Man, to be honest, no. But what scares me about Charlotte is how pragmatic Mars is, right? So I think he knows like I said, he knows what he has. He's going to come to Atlanta. He's going to play defensively. He's going to play a low block, and he's going to try on the counterattack through the wings. And that historically has complicated Atlanta a lot. And recently, in the last season, Inter Miami, NYCFC, there are countless teams that come to Atlanta, park the bus, and Atlanta struggles so hard in possession to break down these teams. So that's what scares me the most about Charlotte. I think against SKC, Atlanta was able to hit SKC on the transitions because SKC is a possession-based team. They love playing with the ball. They don't know how to play without it. And so that opens up spaces for Atlanta to counter on transitions. That's why Atlanta won that match 2-1, even though we had many more opportunities. So, yeah, that's what scares me the most is how defensive and how that low block that Charlotte will play on Sunday.
Which is pretty interesting because, I mean, Miguel is known for attacking-minded football. We've seen moments. Not enough. Exactly. That's what I was gonna get to. Like he doesn't have all the right players that he would want. I mean,
well, you can even see he even said it right. I mean, the frustration, you can hear it.
Yeah. I mean, he came out. Yeah, that's like legendary in the MLS now.
Bro, you don't hear that from any coach anywhere, man. For a coach to say that's tough, man. Bro, like as a fan, I don't want to hear that.
Imagine me being there live and recording this and I wanted to stop him and be like, Miguel, I know you did not just say this. Like, let me wipe my ears real quickly.
No, for sure. Yeah, but he knows the tools he has, so he's gonna come. He's gonna play low block. He's gonna complicate things for Atlanta. Atlanta doesn't have an Ezequiel Barco. They don't have a creative player in the midfield. They don't have a Thiago Almada. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be very tough for Atlanta to break them down. But one thing is for sure, if Atlanta does get a goal and gets a goal early, Charlotte's gonna be forced out to throw everything forward like they did against LA Galaxy in the dying minutes, and that can open up spaces for Atlanta to in transition.
100%. Someone's also Jonathan is asking for everyone making a trip, what should they be aware of? Parking, tailgate lots.
Definitely the tailgate near Mercedes-Benz. It's what's the hotel called? Percy's in the chat. They can name the hotel. It's in front of this one hotel next to Mercedes-Benz. It's where all the supporters meet, and they're very welcoming to away fans. And it's always a good time. You guys get lit there. There's good music, good vibes, and then everyone separates. They goes their own way afterwards and into the match. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean there are a lot of good restaurants in Atlanta. I mean, you can go for Twitter for those recommendations. I like El Rey del Taco. Rey del Taco has some of the best tacos in Atlanta. So
really, all right. I'm doing a vlog and I need to bring back the taco review. So I'm definitely
yeah, it's delicious.
It sucks they moved it to Sunday though, man.
I know.
That
I hate
would have been nice to go down there and just spend the weekend down in Atlanta
Yeah,
and
that's what
just
I've been
take in Atlanta.
debating the last 2 days whether I'm gonna go Saturday or Sunday. So most likely Sunday. But
Dope, dope. Wait, when you guys came for the Nashville game, was it like a whole weekend or
nah,
was
No,
it
we
one
just
day,
did a
right?
day trip. We did a day trip.
You guys went
That
back
was
the
a
same day?
Saturday, right? That was a
yeah, I think
Saturday,
it
I
was
think.
this Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
then
there's a lot to
it was
check out in
a lot of fun.
Atlanta if you guys have time. You know, a lot of museums, aquarium, civil rights museum. There's a
It's
lot.
just not as nice as Charlotte. That's why we only did the 1-day trip.
No, honestly, I love the stadium. I find
Stadium's legit.
amazing, spectacular. The one complaint I do have though, outside it smelled terrible, bro. In the
Oh,
parking lot
Hey, what parking lot? Oh, in the red
where
lot?
you had us parked
yeah,
at,
It smelled bad.
bro.
yeah,
It
Like I don't
smelled
know.
horrible. Actually,
I
I
don't
was
know what
like,
to
yo,
tell you,
what's
man.
going on?
yeah. We
Hey,
had to stop off and rinse off our clothes and stuff further down the road. We got to, I'm just
pan-
kidding.
pancake in chat. Food on Buford Highway is undefeated. Yeah, you guys can hit up Justin Lee for food recommendation. He knows this place like the
Bro, he
palm.
needs to put
Yeah.
his stuff as pancake so we know who he is, man.
Right? Who's
Who
Oh, that's
Justin?
Pancake. Yeah, that didn't even just now register to me. Hey, Pancake, how you doing, buddy?
Yo,
Yo,
we have like this inside joke where when someone calls him by his first name, like Justin, we're like, "Who's Justin?" It's Pancake. It's Pancake Papi, of course.
That's great.
nice, yeah. Now over here, our inside joke is when we get angry at him, we just call him waffles.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. That's funny. That's funny.
Damn it, waffles.
Hey, Jonathan's a man of the culture, Magic City, baby.
All right, Jonathan.
Yeah,
All right,
you
and
know.
then lastly, let's do some score predictions. I'm gonna start off with you, Lee.
With me,
Yeah.
like I keep saying it, like because I want it to be out there in the world, right? I'm gonna go with 1-0 us, Charlotte.
Okay. Nice. Any particular person scoring?
I'm gonna say Carroll gets his first goal and that opens it up for him, sends him on a run.
Nice. I like it. I want to answer this question real quickly though. Is there a name for the rivalry yet, like similar to El Tráfico with Galaxy versus LAFC? Somebody was calling it like the I-85 Derby. I don't know how I feel about that.
But the first thing we gotta clear up, is it a rivalry? Do you guys feel like this leading up to the match? Do you guys feel like some sort of hate or I don't know for Atlanta or
Well, I mean, it's like anything
respect? Or
that
what do you feel?
Charlotte and Atlanta does, right? We always compare each other, maybe not on
That's
purpose,
true.
right? But
Yeah.
we're always compared, right? At least for Charlotte, we've always been considered, or you guys keep saying we're like your little brother or sister or whatever, right? We're just up here making a bunch of noise, wanting some attention. But but we got the Panthers, right? That happens, right? You got with
That's
the
right.
Hornets. I don't know what the Hornets and is it the Hawks down there? I don't know if that's a rivalry, but yeah, I feel like this will be a good one, right? I mean, we get to see each other twice a year,
Yeah.
and especially if again, with some of the fans spilling over from the NFL, right? It just kind of instantly creates that. So
100%.
a lot of people are trying to say it's manufactured. I personally don't think it is manufactured.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be there because the two cities have always competed against each other.
I think the fact that we saw so much like shit thrown at us last week from Atlanta.
Oh, troll all over our socials,
About
man.
the attendance, I'm like, whether they acknowledge it or not, it's there. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Especially because we're bringing, like, obviously we have to maintain it like you guys have, like you said earlier, Ron. But if we're putting up 75,000 people and we can have a legit 30,000 or 40,000 people attending regular games, like you have to acknowledge us as
Mhm.
okay, this is also somebody coming for our throne. And then if we get an MLS Cup, we're never gonna end.
Dude, if we come away with 3 points on Sunday,
Oh, we're
trust
not gonna
me.
hear the end of it, man.
No.
Yeah.
We're gonna come. We're bringing the whole cavalry, man. We're coming all over y'all's socials. I promise you that. Twitter's just gonna be nasty for a couple of days.
It reminds me a lot when Atlanta started out when leading up to that first match against Orlando, because everyone's saying, "Oh, Orlando was manufactured," or Orlando Atlanta is manufactured or whatnot. But I think the amount of toxicity on social media, I think it speaks for itself. I think it's going to be a heated match. Whether they show it on the field or not, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's what really decides a rivalry. But amongst the fans, there's definitely some sort of clashing, some sort of
I
heat
mean,
there.
we're just 4 hours down the street from each other, right? I mean, it's going to be a rivalry, right?
Only in America would we say like we try to call it a derby when it's 4 hours away.
I mean, until we have like Raleigh has a team, right? Which will never happen because Raleigh can't host soccer apparently because that's not a soccer city, is what I'm hearing. That was my dig at Caleb, by the way. Yeah.
I think you can put a stadium or a soccer team any part of the South and put in at least 60,000, man. I mean, how things are going here in the Southeast, man.
Give a score prediction, Ron.
Score prediction, bro. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because it's either going to be a 0-0 really boring match, or it's going to be like 4-0 Atlanta.
God.
Yo ain't clapping us that bad, man. You're going to have to get multiple deflections and penalty calls, man.
He said it really cool, too. Like,
yeah.
Bro,
it find that muting when he says that.
Like I said, Charlotte's going to come defensively, and they're not going to attack. Atlanta's going to have a hard time breaking down. That's where the 0-0 comes from. But also, if Atlanta scores an early goal, things are going to open up immensely for Atlanta, and goals can come in flurries. So
not 4 of them.
I don't know. Maybe two. I don't know. Maybe because of our depth, because we're missing so many star players. Maybe 2 goals. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. In answering this question, of course, we have a shot. Soccer's played 11 on 11. And I think, to give you guys my score prediction, I think it'll be a 1-1. So I think we take a point out of the Benz.
Goal scorers?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Goal scorers?
Goal scorer. For us, I think it'll be TT Ortiz. I want TT to be our first.
You want that so bad, don't you?
I do. And then for Atlanta, it'll be an own goal by us.
So we're not going to score, so it's just going to be Charlotte's goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I think Charlotte's first goal is going to be an own goal.
Maybe I should.
No. See, why you say that, Jorge, man? Now you cursed us, man. Take that back. Edit the shit, man. Edit it. Damn it, Jorge. What are you doing over there?
Oh, man. Yes, it is a champion woven hoodie, man. How did you know? It's kind of weird, man.
Nice. And with that awkwardness, we end another episode of the MLS Corner. Ron, thank you so much for coming on, bro. It is always a pleasure interacting with you, speaking with you. I mean, everything that you're doing, bro, in terms of your coverage for Atlanta and how you're promoting that lifestyle brand with Parceros United, bro. I respect you 1,000%, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the words. Thank you for having me on. It's a good time. When you guys need me, I will be at your disposal, man. Anytime, hit me up. Yeah, it's a pleasure speaking to y'all. See you guys on Sunday.
Perfect. Lee, again, thank you so much, my man. You're one of my ride or dies, bro. You're my homie. Well, you guys have a good night, and thank you for tuning in.
See ya.